Welcome to our second video session in our Salute to Texas Lutheran Bulldogs seniors. Our second senior in this series is an SCAC champion, a three-time All-SCAC selection, and a six-time SCAC Player of the Week honoree. That senior is Summer Swift of Texas Lutheran Women's Golf. Summer, thanks for joining us today, and how are you doing today?
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate having the opportunity to share my experiences.
That's great. We're happy to have you, even remotely into these strange times. But we've got 5 questions for you. So we'll start with question number 1. First, let's take you back to April 24th, 2018. That was the day you captured the SCAC Women's Golf Individual title. You won that championship in your sophomore season, and you won it in a playoff. When you look back at that tournament and at that playoff, what are some memories that come first to your mind?
The first memory that comes to my mind is winning. I mean, I didn't expect to win. That was definitely a turning point in my career as a golfer. I didn't have the confidence in myself before that tournament, and after that tournament, that's when I really increased my confidence. I decided I am good enough to be here. Let me just go out and try to win everything. That playoff was definitely stressful, and shout out to Leilani for putting up a good fight. I remember she went in the water, unfortunately, on her approach shot, but she almost chipped it in for par. She was only an inch away, so that was really amazing on her part. And Jessica Varner, I played with her both days, and it was one of my goals as a student athlete to be as good as she was. I had imagined her as this great player, and so it was a goal to, be as good as her or beat her one day. And that was her very last tournament of her college career, so it was my last shot, and I got to do it, and I got to play with her, and I really appreciate her and her dedication to the sport.
You've talked in previous interviews and just a moment ago about your initial thoughts as a collegiate golfer of maybe not wanting or not having the confidence enough to think you could play collegiate golf. What were some of those early moments when you realized that you could play collegiate golf and play it well and win some tournaments?
Well, again, I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself going out of high school. I originally wasn't going to TLU. I was going to a larger university, and I had the high school coach at Seguin High School. He asked me, "Where are you going to play?" I said, "Well, I'm not going to go play. I'm just going to go be a student." And he's the one who introduced me to TLU. And so I reached out to Coach Tran, and I took a tour of the university with Tran, and I fell in love. It felt like I was home. And those first few tournaments, my freshman and sophomore year, I was number 1 on the team, and I would place higher in tournaments, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, so after winning conference my sophomore year, that's when I could see it in my vision. I was good enough to be here. I was good enough. I proved it to myself. And after that, I just decided I deserve to be here. So I'm just gonna, go out, practice as hard as I can, play as hard as I can, and it paid off.
Not being able to play for a second SCAC title, I'm sure was tough. What has been your process in dealing with that sudden end to the season and probably your career?
It is definitely sad. I played in my last tournament at Valler Creek, our first tournament this semester, and I didn't know it was my last tournament until after it had finished. So I didn't get to have that emotional last tournament, last round, putting in on that last hole. Um, but, golf is a lifelong sport, so I'm not finished. I will play in, some country club tournaments or city tournaments. But yeah, it is very sad that I had a rough ending to my college career. I didn't get that emotional I didn't get that emotional experience in that last tournament.
The NCAA has given spring sports seniors the opportunity to have an additional year of eligibility. Have you thought about doing that? And what did you think about when you heard that?
That is a very generous offer for those of us who can take that on, and I really appreciate that from the NCAA, but I will be attending physical therapy school in the fall, and they don't have any sports team. I'm going to UT Medical Branch in Galveston, and it's all grad schools. So I don't have that opportunity, but it really is great for those of us who can take that opportunity on.
Was there any sort of thought about trying to make it work? I know you've had your sights set on the graduate school for a long time, but did that offer from the NCAA attract you in any way?
It is attractive, but it's not practical for me in
Yeah.
my future.
I'm not trying to sway you. We're so proud of what you've done for TLU and for your pursuit of graduate school and going forward in that. And that's an awesome opportunity. So I'm not trying to get you to come back or anything like that, but I wondered if that was a pull. So our last question is, what are your plans going forward with your education and your career?
Like I said, I'll go to UT Medical Branch in Galveston for a Doctor of Physical Therapy. It's a 3-year program. So I'm super blessed to have that opportunity as well. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of fun there. And, I'll be a Doctor of Physical Therapy working at a hospital somewhere. I really want to focus on gait mechanics and gait kinematics, helping people with neurological diseases walk more efficiently.
That sounds awesome. When did you first get into that mind frame of pursuing that sort of career?
I had a really influential high school professor, and he taught a health class, and I was really good at the muscular chapters and the neuro chapters. So that was my initial interest. And he had a son with cerebral palsy. And so that's where I was introduced to the neurological diseases and the neurological aspects on walking. And so it's been my passion since high school. I haven't really had any deviations in my dream, and I'm really set and dedicated. So I'm fortunate that I get to have the experience of going to grad school and becoming a doctor.
Well, that's wonderful. We've been so privileged to watch you play golf and have you as a student athlete, and it's been a great journey to see you from freshman to senior year and to see your success on the golf course. We can't thank you enough for being a Bulldog.
Yeah, thank you for letting me be a Bulldog. It's been a great experience, and I'll never forget it.
All right. Well, Summer Swift, congratulations and best of luck. Stay safe out there and take care.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.